Are you trying to pay down debt, but you just can't get started and it seems like it just keeps rising and rising? Well, in this video, I want to talk about 4 ways that we can tackle the debt. Let's get into it. So, y'all, we've been talking about credit card utilization, tackling that so that we can increase our credit score. Because, in my opinion, if we want to increase our credit score fast, then we have to tackle our credit utilization. And so, on one of those videos, somebody had commented and she was stating that, man, that credit card utilization is tearing her score up. And she was just like, her payment history is good, but dang. And so when I responded, if you create a plan that you think is not too bad, and then once you start gaining some traction, I think after you do that, then you'll really get into it and you can, pay it down. And so it got me to thinking about, my debt. And with my student loans, I feel the same way because I'm just like, I try to create a plan and then, I really don't get started and all that kind of stuff. And so it got me to thinking about, let's say 3 years ago, I had gotten my auto loan with Navy Federal and it was $20,000 for 60 months at a 2.19% interest rate. And so when I had originally got the auto loan, I was like, you know what? I'm going to pay it down in 3 years. And so once I had started paying the first payment and then I paid the second payment, I had paid more. And then I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm going to be able to pay down this auto loan in 1 year. And I just got very excited about it. And I had even created, videos about it. And I was just so excited about it. And I'm just like, still, I don't even know how I had did that. But I was just like, wow, that was amazing. But it got me to thinking back because several months ago, I was in a book club and we had just finished a book and it was Think and Grow Rich with Napoleon Hill. And you'll have to check this book out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the book link through YouTube to where you can listen to the book if you want to. I think that it's a great book. And so while the book is called Think and Grow Rich, overall, I think it's more so like a mindset shift. And in the book, I would say like these 2 things are like the most important part, in my opinion, because it's really about one, you want to have a burning desire for whatever it is that you're trying to do. But then it's the belief. And it's like in my mind, when I think about my student loans, I'm just like, y'all, I don't even know. I'm just like, I can have the student loans forever as long as I'm just making my payment. I don't have that same feeling of my student loans like I have for credit card debt and like I had for my auto loan, because I'm just like, I haven't had credit card debt in probably 6 years. And with my auto loan, I was able to start out at 60 months. Then I was just like, I'm gonna do it in 3 years, and then I did it in a year. But it's like I had got so excited about it. And I thought that I was going to be able to move that excitement over to my student loans, but I haven't. And it's like I'll try to create a plan and it won't work. But I think now I'm getting better with it because I have a plan. Because even though, once we had started paying our student loans back, I went ahead and I started paying it. But then, once they had went into forbearance and we could have stopped, I didn't stop. I kept paying it. And then a friend of mine, I was talking to her about it because she done paid off her student loans. And she was just like, Tasha, I'm going to challenge you to, let's start off with paying $100. So that's what I've been doing. So I pay my monthly payment, then I paid $100, and then my company, they pay $100. So I'm kind of slow walking it that way, but I'm just trying to change my belief around that kind of debt. And so you really have to consider, what are your beliefs around money, debt, and things like that. And I think if we could possibly change, our belief. And so for me, I'm going to change my belief around it to where it's just like, well, no, I don't have to have student loans, for 20 or 30 years or, however long. And, I can get it paid off. And so I'm really going to make a plan with it so that I could go ahead and get it paid off. So you guys, y'all have to check out that book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I think it's really good. I'm going to put it in the description. You'll have to check it out. And then let me know, what books are you guys reading? Because I'm really trying to find me another book. I think I'm going to read Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice by Dennis Kimbrough. So you'll have to let me know if you read that one. And I really been thinking about getting a book club together. So let me know if you would be interested in doing a book club. I might have to get one started up. Here are 4 ways that I think that we can tackle our credit card debt. So number 1, we have to create a plan. And so let's say for me, I'm going to get, like, how much is my student loans? So my student loans is this amount. What's my minimum payment and what's my interest rate? Then I want to create a budget. And so 1, I want to know how much money I have coming in compared to going out, and how much money do I have left over that I can put towards the student loan debt. And then next, really want to pick a plan. So let's say if you have more than one debt, do you want to use the Snowball method or do you want to use the Avalanche method? And so with the Snowball method, you just want to write all the debts down and then smallest to largest and then tackle it that way. But then if you want to try the debt Avalanche, you want to get all your debts down and then the interest rates, and then you want to start from the highest interest rate down. Now, although with the Snowball method, you're going to get those quick wins, but with the debt Avalanche, you're going to be saving a little bit more money because you're going to be paying down the interest faster by tackling the high interest. So now that we have wrote down what our debts are and then picked a method, and that's going to be either the debt Avalanche or the Snowball, we want to create the actual plan. So how long is it going to take for us to pay down this debt? So I have my student loans. I want to pay this amount every month to where I can pay the debt down in 1-2 years. It really depends on how much extra money that you have to where you can pay it down, or within this goal, do I need to, give me a side hustle or sell some things to pay down the debt? And then lastly, am I going to need to revise the goal? Because that's how I feel like I was able to pay my auto loan down faster, because even though I had created the goal of, it started out at 60 months, then I went to 3 years, as I had started paying it down, and then I was just crunching the numbers and things like that, I really started getting excited, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to pay it down in a year, opposed to where I had originally started at the 60 months. And so I think it's always good to go and take a look at the goal, let's say every month or so that we can see what changes do we need to make. What if you start making more money or less money? You're going to have to revise the goal so that it's not so taxing on us and it's not stressing us out. So let me know in the comments, what goal have you been trying to tackle in your debt, or even the goals that you had picked for yourself for 2025? Have you started on those goals? How are those goals going? And how are you going to get there? I hope that this video was helpful. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and turn your notification bell on so you'll be notified when new content drops. I thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Are you looking for a way to keep track of your monthly budget? Well, check out my 2025 digital budget planner. I posted it on my Etsy shop. You can go into the description and click on the link. In the budget, you have goal setting, you have a monthly budget, a debt repayment, you have a savings tracker. So check out the 2025 digital budget planner on my Etsy shop.